Thank you very much, Liesl. Well, I guess I'm the lucky last speaker of the day. So, first of all, thank you very much for sticking around. And second, I want to ask you a question. When you go home tonight and you slice into that juicy piece of steak, or that salmon, or if you're vegetarian, maybe a yummy piece of tofu, have a think, where did it come from? It may have a sticker saying that it's GM-free, or that it was sustainably fished or farmed. But how do you know? Who do you trust? Well, folks, the answer is you don't know. And you have no other choice but to trust. To trust a central company, to trust their processes. And guess what? That can be challenging at times, because even the most simplest process of putting a name in an envelope can be challenging at the very least. Just ask these guys there. That's where the blockchain comes in. So I propose we put the Oscar on the blockchain. I mean, not the actual Oscar itself, but the process. Why not? Because everything else is being put on the blockchain. Everything from land titles, wedding nuptials, and even Chinese pork. But the question is, why? As we saw earlier, there are lots of great properties of the blockchain, and it's trying to understand these properties that's the key. So I want to introduce what I call the double D principle. So, sticking on that theme of food, imagine this big fat hamburger. The top bun, I want you to think of the distributed property. The bottom bun, decentralized, as we heard earlier. And sandwiched in the middle, there's a whole lot of trust. Now, when I explained this to a couple of colleagues looking at the talk, they said to me, do you realize that double D is a bra size? And that wasn't on my mind, but that's true. So I changed it to DD, the DD principle. And then he said, well, that sounds like due diligence. But whatever way you guys want to use to remember it, it's fine by me. You guys can take this away today and think of a hamburger, distributed and decentralized. It's a great starting point. So, let's now look at the process of, say, a piece of steak, maybe coffee beans or cocoa beans, kiwi fruit even, right? Tracking it from gate to plate, from farm to fork, for example, can be challenging. There are lots of different parties involved, and the information is quite often siloed into all these different parties. What if there was this one central place that we could put the information? What if this central place could be trusted by all the parties involved? This is what the blockchain network offers. What you could do is imagine the piece of meat, whatever it is, starting at the source location, being time-stamped on the blockchain with maybe a GPS location, with a digital certificate of the plantation or the factory. And then as it moves through these various stages of the supply chain, on the blockchain, what happens is that you have this transparent, immutable, auditable trail of this database that we call the blockchain that is spread over all different parties, distributed, but no single party maintains control. It's decentralized. There's a short video I want to show where IBM outlines the challenges in the supply chain.
Today, 90% of goods in global trade are carried by the shipping industry, with the supply chain slowed by the complexity and sheer volume of point-to-point communication across a loosely coupled web of land transportation providers, freight forwarders, customs brokers, governments, ports, and ocean carriers. Processing documents and information for a container shipment is estimated to cost more than twice that of the actual physical transportation. IBM and Maersk are addressing this problem with a distributed, permission platform accessible by the supply chain ecosystem designed to exchange event data and handle document workflows. Maersk and IBM are employing blockchain technology to create a global, tamper-proof system for digitizing trade workflow and tracking shipments end-to-end.
Now, the next video I'm going to show is a sneak peek into the actual system itself. So let's take a look at this.
In a recent test by Maersk, shipping a single container of flowers from Kenya to the port of Rotterdam resulted in a stack of nearly 200 communications. Using this example, we will examine how blockchain has been implemented to create trust and security in the digitized document workflow and improve the efficiency of global supply chains. Here we can see each distinct entity involved in the transaction: the growers, export authorities, ports, customs and importers. Shipping from the port of Mombasa requires signatures from 3 different agencies approving the export and 6 documents that describe the origin, chemical treatment, quality of the produce and customs duties. Firstly, using a PC or mobile device, the Kenyan farm submits a packing list that becomes visible to all participants. This action initiates a smart contract that enforces an export approval workflow between the 3 agencies. As each agency signs, the status is updated for all to see. Simultaneously, information about the inspection of the flowers, the sealing of the refrigerated container, the pickup by the trucker, and the approval from customs is communicated to the port of Mombasa, allowing them to prepare for the container. All actions relating to the documents and the physical goods are captured and shared: which documents were submitted, when and by whom, where the flowers are and who is in possession of them, and the next steps in their journey.
So, the main thing I want to mention here is that on the surface, the system probably looks like something that you're familiar with. To me, it looks like trying to track a DHL package from Alibaba or eBay. So, from the customer's perspective, there's not much difference. But in the back end, to the company who's employing this new technology, there could be tremendous cost savings from what's outlined in the video. Now, obviously, you guys may have heard that Fonterra is actually in the action as well. Here we can see some headlines from cow to cup. Fonterra aiming for the total dairy provenance. On their actual website about a year ago, teaming up to explore the technology to drive food safety and quality. And just on the website there, you can see that they signed a memorandum of understanding working with New Zealand Post, PwC and Alibaba as well. Okay, so there's a lot of hype in this space, and in particular from Accenture, how blockchains will transform and simplify supply chain. Deloitte, using blockchain to drive supply chain transparency. And from supply chain news, why blockchain is a game changer for supply chain and management transparency. I got through a tongue twister. But if it's so good, why isn't everyone using it? Well, first of all, the technology is actually quite tricky to learn. There's a lot of jargon, a lot of words such as a public blockchain, a private blockchain. Is it permissionless? What's a distributed ledger? Smart contracts, public-private keys. It's enough to drive you nuts. It's also a paradigm shift, moving from a closed, centralized thought to having the information open and decentralized. And of course, it's not for everyone, because whatever you think, there are some people in the ecosystem that profit from having a slow and inefficient system. So, in summary, folks, if there's one thing I want you to take away, it's that hamburger. Distributed at the top, decentralized at the bottom, a whole lot of trust in between. The information on the blockchain is trusted, transparent, between not everyone in the world, but between the parties of concern. And there's a lot of hype, so trying to understand the fundamentals, the properties that are offered, allows you to swim through all that crud to get to the good stuff, to understand how it really works. So in the summary, I challenge all of you guys to go back and learn a bit more about this technology, because the worst thing that can happen is that you waste a bit of time and it didn't go anywhere. But the best thing that could happen is that maybe you could learn something and apply it to your company, your industry. If not to stay up to date, to lead and show others what you can do. Thank you.